The third category highlighted by the FTC was the failure to adhere to security claims. Sensitive information is a strong focus of the FTC, even though they don't really provide us a definition of what that sensitive information is. However, non-sensitive information can also hit their radar. Could be true if a company's privacy policy, their marketing materials, or public claims that they make attest to the fact that they are protecting data. And if a company fails to meet its claims, they may meet the FTC. The FTC expects companies to adhere to their claims on cybersecurity and will pursue those who don't. The FTC may interpret the company's claims and marketing material broadly. So think about this. A statement that you may make in your marketing material, which is fairly innocuous but implies certain protection of data, may be interpreted fairly broadly by the FTC and could hold you to those claims that you are protecting your data in a secure manner. Let's look at a few cases. In the matter of MTS Inc. doing business as Tower Records Books Video and Tower Direct, TowerRecords.com, the companies operated TowerRecords.com, which claimed to use state-of-the-art techniques to safeguard personal information. It also claimed to protect sensitive data in accordance with the terms of service and privacy policy. However, the checkout functions were redesigned at some point in time, and thus creating a vulnerability that allowed a customer to enter any order number and view other customers' data. The FTC alleged that more than 5,000 customers' purchase data was accessed. The FTC attributed the vulnerability to failure to implement checks and controls on rewriting and revising the application, alleged that there was a failure to implement appropriate security tests, and inadequate training on identifying web application vulnerabilities and security testings. Keep in mind there's software available to test application security and companies that specialize in testing application security that could have helped in this case. But if it's done by people inside the company, they need to be trained on being able to identify those vulnerabilities and testing the security of applications. More importantly, this whole process needs to be part of the SDLC so that as applications are redeveloped or modified, that this testing becomes automatic in the process. So the key lesson is a general promise to protect customer information sets an expectation with the FTC, and failure to adopt safeguards will attract the attention of the FTC. In the matter of Oracle Corporation, Oracle produces Java software, which is used in many devices and many applications. Periodically, Oracle releases updates to the software to eliminate vulnerabilities. Oracle made claims that Java provides safe and secure access to the world of amazing Java content. Even with the update, the older vulnerable versions, however, were left on the computer. The FTC noted that leaving the older versions on a computer might subject users to serious, well-known attacks. So think about it. So the new version, which was patched, was on the system, but the old versions, which had the vulnerabilities that could expose the computer to compromise, were left on the systems as well. The key lesson here is if a company is aware of major security vulnerability that could expose customer data, it should disclose that vulnerability and the ways to fix it. In the matter of Credit Karma Inc., the facts are this. Credit Karma provides a mobile application that allows customers to view their credit reports and scores. And if you haven't used this application, it actually is a very, very interesting application. It allows you to do just that. The company privacy policies claim that it uses SSL to establish a secure connection. On the Apple devices, iOS, however, provides a programming interface that by default uses SSL. Apple warned developers that disabling the default settings might impact the secure connection. And sure enough, Credit Karma overrode the default settings and therefore did not use an SSL connection. This opened up Credit Karma to redirection and interception attacks. The FTC further alleged that this presented a potential that users' credentials might be compromised. This could expose a user's credit report and financial data as well, and they also asserted that misuse of this data could lead to identity theft. So the key lesson here is that the FTC has addressed several cases where companies have modified default settings that impacted underlying security of data. It has a very low tolerance for companies that do this. So the default settings are becoming the de facto standard of mobile application development and should remain in place. There are a number of cases in text that address various viewpoints of the FTC. The cases cited here are not meant to slight any company or suggest avoidance of their services or products by any means. The important lesson is to learn from these companies' failures. The last thing you want to become is subject to an FTC enforcement action. Understand what claims you're making and whether you can back them up. Understand that FTC may interpret your statements broadly, and implement reasonably secure practices to protect your user data.